Hey everyone, it's Cyrus here. Welcome to another episode of the Boxica podcast. Today's episode, I'm all on my own, and the topic is going to be stubborn body fat. Okay, we're going to talk about stubborn body fat, how to get rid of it, and what it is. This is a conversation that I've had many times with many clients, and I'm sure you're sitting there thinking now, I've got this bit of body fat, and typical areas. Belly button, lower belly button is a stubborn body fat area. Love handles right on the side, around your navel, but on the sides of the body. And then lower back seems to be an area where people store a lot of body fat. Ladies, it could be more like legs, glute area, okay, under the upper arm. These are areas where we store body fat, and people will say, I've got this stubborn body fat. Well, we're going to dive into this, hopefully give you some tips on how you can, attack the body fat in those areas. But first of all, I want to say that most people that come up to me and say this, it's not stubborn body fat. Okay, so let's just define this this phrase, stubborn body fat. Obviously, when you get leaner, it's harder to lose body fat, right? It gets more difficult the leaner you get, because it's just at some point unhealthy and unnatural to get any leaner. Stubborn body fat, only that phrase itself actually only really applies if you're really lean and you're trying to get rid of the last couple of percent body fat. And I can speak from experience because I've been down this road and taken clients down this road before. So if you're in the normal body fat percentage ranges, and you have a little bit of body fat on your body in certain areas, it's not stubborn body fat. It's there quite simply because you're not eating the correct amount of calories. You're not eating the correct amount of food to get rid of it. It's not stubborn. You're not doing what's required to shift it. That's the only honest answer I can give you on that. But we are going to get into that. If whatever you think it is, if you think it's stubborn or not, whatever, if you've got body fat on your body, we're going to talk about how to get a little bit leaner and shift some body fat as well. So, as I've said, it's likely not stubborn unless you're super lean and you're going into, the kind of like really lean percentages of body fat. Now, I've got something on my phone here, which I will post on social media when I post about this podcast, so you can all see it. So we'll start with the ladies, and it's just a picture, and it has various body fat percentages on it, and a picture of a lady that's that lean. And the leanest it goes down to is 10 to 12% for a lady, and it's like ridiculous, like it's like a bodybuilder on stage kind of style. And then it goes all the way up to 50% body fat, having half of your body as body fat. And there's different photos in between of different ladies at different areas of body fat. Women do carry more body fat than guys. That's just the way things are for various reasons. And when you're looking at these photos and you're thinking about where it is you want to be, you have to be realistic as well, because I say for a woman, any less than 20% to 25%, any less than that, if you go down into the teens, especially upper to mid-teens, it's going to be, everything has a price, right? And with body fat percentages, especially when you get to a certain area, a certain level of body fat, every percentage down past like a normal range of body fat is hard. So I'll put this up on, like I said, social media. You can have a look at it. We'll go into the guys one. The guy starts at 3% body fat, 3 to 4%, which is again like the bodybuilder. So you can see the difference. The lady is 10 to 12% body fat, completely shredded, looking like just unhealthily lean, and it is unhealthy for a lady to get that lean, extremely unhealthy. And then we'll go to the guys one. It's 3 to 4%. They look similar. The guy's obviously a bit leaner because the guys are built a little bit differently. And then the guy goes all the way up to 40% body fat. So it's interesting to look at these, and I hope you all go on the social media and have a look. And it's just to see, okay, where it's at. For a guy, So I said for a woman, any percentages down from the upper to mid-teens is very difficult. For a guy, when you get to kind of like 10-12%, which is the low teens, down from that it gets difficult again. Now obviously genetics will play a part in this as well. However, genetics are not the full story, which we'll get into as well. So nice to look at though. I know you can't see them on the podcast, but good to have that on your phone. Save it, screenshot it, and just keep an image in your mind of where you feel you should be. Alrighty, so yeah, look, getting this day and age with social media and all the fitness models on social media and the magazines, not so much magazines anymore, but you get the idea. When someone is in the fitness industry, it's certainly on my Instagram as well. I mean, I'm not away from this at all. When you're in the fitness industry and you're a coach, you want to show people, look, I'm in shape, I can do this. A lot of the social media stuff you see has been edited. The photos have been, photoshopped, or you have apps on your phone these days. You can change, chop and change things out, add some more shadow, make yourself look more ripped than what you actually are. Again, I've done that as well. I've edited photos and put them on social media. So you're not looking at the full story. A lot of the fitness models and people that go on like magazine shoots and stuff like this that are actually professional models and fitness models and stuff like this, they're not in that kind of shape all year round. They will have a photo shoot booked in. They'll go on a strict diet for 3 months before it. They'll take all the amazing photos of them looking, like skeletons, and then after it, they'll gain the weight back. So your perceived mindset on where you want your body to be and what would be nice to have is not actually a reality. And this is a very important point to remember. I can talk about my own personal experience. I mean, I've looked at, followed fitness models and been in the industry for many years and wanted to look like some of the fitness models out there, but I just haven't got the genetics for it, or willing to put in the work necessary to look like that, or willing to live the life of being that lean all year round. It's just unrealistic. It affects your hormones, your sleep, your mood, and you just turn into this miserable person. I've been there. I mean, the lowest body fat I've been is 7% body fat. At the moment, I'm probably sitting around 12, and 7% body fat is tough for a guy to reach. If you haven't got the natural genetics for it. And I mean, I'll talk about it real quickly. I mean, you start getting very hungry all the time. You think about food non-stop. You don't sleep very well. Your body slows down a lot. Your metabolism slows down. Your body's trying to conserve energy a lot. So you find yourself sitting down, lying down more than normal. You yawn a lot. You feel moody all the time. Did I mention this? You do not stop thinking about food. So there's a lot of prices to pay, and a lot of sacrifices for being in that kind of like very lean body fat percentages. And even when you get that lean, this is something else that I experienced myself as well. I got down to 7% body fat, and I was speaking to my wife, and I was like, I wish because I wasn't like a robot on the diet. I was cheating here and there, and I just sometimes would just smell something and eat it because I was just so hungry. And I was telling my wife, like, I had a photo shoot planned, and I was just like, I could have done so much better. I can't believe I've let myself down. My wife was like, oh my God, I wish you could see yourself and hear yourself at the same time. You're absolutely ripped. You've got veins popping out your stomach, and you're saying you could have done this, better. Like, what more better? What better do you want? And having coached people for years, like I have, and having the experience of hearing people tell me these things, as I'm the coach and they're the client, and been through it myself, we all expect better of ourselves, and we all want to look like fitness models. And so, circling back, you've got to be realistic. And I've only just started being, realistic with myself, in terms of, the kind of body fat percentage I can maintain year round, due to the amount of experience that I've got. And so, first of all, have a look at these photos, check out where you are on the scale, and get a realistic goal in your mind as to where you want to be in terms of like a body fat percentage, and know that, know that what you probably have in your mind is not realistic for you. and know that you're never going to feel 100% happy with your body. Yeah, you're never going to be like, I'm good, like this is good, you're always going to have a little thing here and there that you don't like about yourself. We're very critical of ourselves, so that's just your mind playing games with you. I mean, you just need to shake it off and realize that no one's got the perfect body, and you're never going to have the perfect body in terms of what you want for yourself as well. So it's a lot of this is about setting your expectations from the start and being like, okay, where can I maintain comfortably in terms of body fat percentage? So as you can see, like what I've been talking about now, it's just more about the mindset and making sure you keep a realistic expectation from the beginning. Having said all that, though, I know you're all saying, yeah, got it, Cyrus, but I have, this bit here that I want to get rid of and stuff like that. So let's get into how can you reduce the body fat in, and the area of the body doesn't matter. You could be sitting there now thinking, it's my lower stomach, it's my arms, it's my love handles, it's my lower back, it's my glutes, it's my legs, that place where you store body fat the most, that you think is stubborn body fat because it's always there. Okay, let's talk about that and how we can improve that. So, first of all, you can't spot reduce on the body, so you can't say, I want to get rid of the fat in my lower stomach, for example. So I'm going to do exercises that target the lower abdominal muscles, and that's going to cause me to lose body fat in that area. Currently, that's the research, that you can't do that. I'm sure there'll be some technology or some new research that comes out at one point that says, no, actually, you can, help it by, I don't know, whatever. That's not out yet officially. A few people, scientists and a few different people have started talking about spot reducing body fat. But as far as my knowledge is, it's not out there in the open. People are not openly discussing it or trying the techniques. Okay, so as per this conversation, you cannot spot reduce. So fat loss is fat loss regardless of where it is on your body. Okay, the biggest aspect, and I've spoke about this on a podcast before, and everyone in the fight camps heard about it, and the biggest aspect of fat loss is a calorie deficit. That's consuming less calories than what your body needs, right? So if you've got body fat on your body that you want to shift, you have to eat less food. That's how you do it consistently over time, not for 5 days, not for a 2-week period of, I'm going to lose some weight in a very short period of time. You have to consistently eat a little bit less over time in order to lose body fat, and your body will use up the body fat because it's energy as you consume less. When you're going about your exercise and your steps and everything, your body's going to need energy to make up for the deficit that you've created from eating less food, and that's how you lose body fat. So, if a lot of people tell me this stubborn body fat thing when they've just lost, let's say, a few kilos, they're starting to feel and look a bit better, and they're on the right track, but they've got this, more body fat to lose, and they say that it's stubborn body fat. It's not stubborn, it's just you have not been doing this long enough, you haven't been consistent for long enough in order to lose more body fat. Okay, the reason why you think it's stubborn body fat is because genetically we all store body fat, in different areas. Let's say, for example, it's the stomach, right? The lower stomach, the belly button area. You're saying, like, that is my stubborn body fat right there, right below the belly button. And I'm pinching my stubborn body fat as I'm saying this. The reason why there's more body fat there is because you have more fat cells there. And your body stores more body fat in that area. That's the only reason why that part of your body is bigger in terms of body fat. There's more body fat stored there than everywhere else. You're genetically predispositioned like that. You have more fat cells in that area, so that area gets bigger when you eat too much food. So the reason why it's stubborn is because there's more fat in that area. Your body is using the body fat around your body evenly, taking it from different areas, but it's hanging around here because there's just more of it there. That's the bottom line of stubborn body fat. Typically you see people when they start losing weight, their faces, their neck, their shoulders, like this area, like kind of around the neck area, and the face starts to get really lean first because there's hardly any body fat there. So you see it in that area first because your face gets leaner first because there's hardly anything around there, around the chin, the neck area, okay, and then it kind of goes down, and then the arms, right, and the legs, and then last but not least is this kind of midsection area that has the most body fat. So just realize that there's nothing stubborn about it as such. It's just there's more fat there, and time and consistency will get rid of it. Okay, so typically you're looking at a minimum of 3 months to be able to see considerable change in a body fat percentage. So that could give you like an initial range to aim for. 6 months is a more realistic view of things in terms of the body. If you want to move that stubborn body fat, give yourself a 6-month goal. Stay consistent for 6 months. It's difficult. Like 6 months, people are saying 6 months, 6 months. Like, oh, that's a long time. If you're already thinking that, if you already got in your mind like, oh, really, I've got to do this, calorie counting thing or whatever it is for 6 months. Wow, that's a long period of time. I don't know if I can commit that long. Then just say your prayers and be happy with what you've got, and don't try and lose the stubborn body fat, because it takes a long time to really change the body, especially if you've just lost some fat and you have those. I keep saying stubborn, but I've already said it's not stubborn. But those last areas of body fat that are on your body, it's going to take time. Sorry to say that, okay? So you've got to be in this for the long term if you want to get rid of those areas of body fat. And I've said this before in a podcast, but I'll repeat it before I move on. If you are, let's say you weigh 100 kilos, example, and ideally for your age, gender, height, and the way you've been before, you should be, let's say, 75 kilos, okay? So you're 25 kilograms over what you should be. Now, gaining 25 kilos of body fat doesn't happen overnight. And 25, it could be 5, could be 4, could be 10, could be any number, could be 50. But just hear me out. Think about your own body, right? Where you are now compared to where you used to be or where you want to be and stuff like this. Right? So you was 75 kilos, now you're 100 kilos. 25 kilos more body fat. That usually doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while, right? You've built some bad habits. You've let things slip. You've gone a few years, COVID, whatever else happened. You've gained some body fat. Okay, during that period of time, your body has adapted to having all this excess body fat on it, right? Your natural state, your homeostasis is overweight. Your body, your hormones, everything is adjusted to being overweight. So now, when you start losing weight, you're not in that relaxed kind of natural state anymore. You're digging away at those fat stores, and it's something new for you, for your body. Like physiologically, it's like, oh, like damn, we're losing all this energy, and energy and body fat is just stored energy. So like your body still thinks it's good to have it because think about how we've evolved. Think about evolution. Food wasn't always available. We'd have to go out hunting and whatever for our food and gathering, and winters probably were eating a bit less than the summer. There wasn't that much food available. So our bodies are incredibly adapted to gaining body fat, right? So this is the whole thing that I'm talking about. You've gained a load of fat. You're in this kind of like overweight stage, right? 100 kilos as an example. As you start losing weight, your body's going to be trying to work against you because it wants you to gain the weight back, because that's excess energy, right? That's the stores for the long winter that you've just accumulated over a few years, and your body's in a very comfortable position, let's say. Then you start chipping away at that. You join Boxica, you join the fight camp, you start watching your nutrition, you start getting your steps in, you start losing weight, you're killing it. But your body's working against you, and that will happen in multiple different ways. Subconsciously as well, you'll start moving less. Your body wants you to slow down, start slowing your metabolism down to conserve some of this energy. Initially it might come off quite fast, but then it'll just slowly but surely slow down and become harder. But what during that change from, let's say, 100 kilo to 75 kilo, your body hormonally needs to change as well and adjust to the new body fat percentage. That adjustment from 100 kilos to 75 or wherever it is you are obviously the bigger the adjustment, the bigger the range of fat you need to lose, the longer it's going to take. But a new body fat percentage, in the example of 100 kilos to 75 kilos, would take a year to 18 months for your body to become comfortable at this new range of body fat. So think about that. 18 months, right? If you've got in your mind, like my example earlier, 6 months, wow, that's a long time. 6 months is nothing. And really, it's going to take you a year to a year and a half to for your body to be comfortable at a newer, lower body fat percentage. Okay, so that's a massive aspect of this as well. Just knowing this actually is really helps, because as you're on your journey, you start feeling demotivated. And you start eating different things, eating more food, being slack with your calorie counting, not turning up to training sessions, not doing your steps, not going that extra bit that's required. Your body's working against you. It wants to gain fat. It doesn't want to be lean. So that's important to know as well on this journey of losing those stubborn bits of body fat. Right, let's get into the next aspect of this. I just said, like, feeling demotivated and slipping up here and there, and typically what will happen is someone will decide they want to go on a diet, they need to go on a diet, they'll lose a load of weight, and then as time progresses they just become more and more relaxed. And this is especially true of myself as well. I have all the knowledge, obviously, and the experience, but it's difficult to stay motivated and consistent over the long term. I'm not saying it's easy, and I'll look at my journey and say that every 3 to 6 months I'll have to rein myself in as well. I'll slowly eat too much food over time. Right, so let's say I'm in my fitness pal, I'm tracking on my food, I'm doing my steps, I'm on point, I lose a bit of body fat, I'm like, okay, this is great, this is where I want to be. Yeah, couple of weeks or months later or whatever, start slipping up here and there, just start being lazy with my fitness pal, don't drink enough water in the day, start eating more sweets and treats, typically things that have higher calories, high percentage of those foods. The weekends, start, getting that urge on the weekends to eat some crazy things, and the calories build up, and slowly but surely I start gaining body fat, and I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I wasn't like this a couple of months ago. So what I'm saying is, even someone with the knowledge that I've got, and doing this as a career and help so many people lose fat, it's still hard to stay consistent long term, and I still have to rein my nutrition in sometimes. Be like, you know what, dude, you're just eating too much food at the minute. And this is what it comes down to, okay? The bottom line is, if you want to be leaner and you want to get rid of those stubborn bits of body fat, you have to eat less food. And you have to build the habits of eating less food, and your body has to adjust to eating less food. That's it. Once you adapt, and once you get comfortable eating the normal required amounts of food to have an optimally optimal body fat percentage, and to be lean and healthy and athletic and everything else that we want out of this, you just have to, it takes time, you adjust over time. If you're used to eating very large portions of food, first you have to weigh and measure everything, and that keeps you on track, and then slowly but surely over time you adjust and you start. I feel full now quicker than what I used to. I can tell you that for a fact. I don't eat slow. You're supposed to eat your food slow. It takes around 20 minutes for your body to feel satiated after a meal. I don't eat slow. I wish I did eat slower, but I'm a fast eater. And so nowadays, because I'm used to eating less food essentially. For me, it's around 2,500 calories a day. I start getting full quicker, and once I've hit 2,500 calories in a day, I know myself from the feeling that I get from my body, being in tune with my body, that this like I'm full, like I'm not really hungry anymore. I am, if I'm just going to eat now, it's out of boredom, or it's just because I want the taste of something. It's not because I need the nutrition and the calories and the energy. It's because I just want to eat something, right? So being in tune with your body and listening to how your body feels and stuff like this is extremely important. And one thing that I've learned as well, which will definitely help you guys, is only eating when you're hungry. And I'm talking about like hungry, like when you are hungry, eat. I'll typically wake up in the morning, I'll eat my first meal around 9:30, 10, because that's when I get hungry. And I'm talking like stomach hungry. And one thing I tell people is, how do you know when you're actually really hungry? It's when you feel that you can, when you want to eat vegetables, right? So vegetables is just that thing on the plate that, I need to eat this. When you're hungry, you'll eat vegetables because you'll be shoveling those things into your mouth because you're hungry, and they will taste really good. Your taste buds actually change when you're hungry. When you eat when you're hungry, food tastes so much better, right? And you can try this out, like tomorrow or later on. Just don't eat for a long period of time, and then eat a load of vegetables and some food, and it will taste really good. Like, it will be an amazing meal. So this is one thing that's helped me a lot as well. Adjusting to the right amount of calories over time, knowing that it's going to take time. Obviously tracking your calories on MyFitnessPal, and trying to eat slower, and waiting until you're actually like stomach hungry before you eat. Yeah, if you're not hungry, don't eat. And be honest with yourself. It's another. I'm looking at my notes here. Another point that I've put down. I've known people to track their calories on MyFitnessPal and think that they are tracking their calories properly, but they're not. The foods that I can see inside MyFitnessPal that are being tracked, and the quantities of calories and stuff, is not actually what the person is eating. Yeah. So be honest with yourself if you are going to jump on this journey of tracking calories, which I highly recommend you do if you've never done it before. If you want to lose a few pounds, whatever, you want to get in shape, you've got to know how many calories you're consuming. You've got to know how many calories that your body requires in order to be a certain size, shape, whatever. And tracking in MyFitnessPal is a great learning experience to do that. But being honest in MyFitnessPal, right? I'll say this from my own experience as well, right? Let's say I'm hungry, it's in the night, and I'll feel like some Cocoa Pops, right? All the Cocoa Pops, wow, amazing. Mouth's watering just thinking about Cocoa Pops. You've got the ball on the scales, you start pouring your Cocoa Pops in. You're supposed to have 30 grams, right? You hit 30 grams, you look in the ball, that's not a lot of Cocoa Pops. I'm going to have a bit more. And you do another pour when it's not on the scales, right? That's not being honest with yourself. One scoop of ice cream turns into a scoop and a half. One slice of bread, you're cooking the kids' food, and a few little bites of the chicken nuggets here, a few chips, couple of chips only. You have a tablespoon of mayo on your meal that you didn't track, right? About 100 odd calories in that. You ate a meal, let's say lasagna, right? A home cooked lasagna, but you didn't input all the ingredients individually in MyFitnessPal. You just went on MyFitnessPal and found the lasagna and said, yeah, I'll use this because it has 250 calories. But the one you made at home has 600 calories, right? All these small things means you're not being honest with yourself, and you're just wasting your time. Be accurate with your calorie counting if you're going to go down that route and start on MyFitnessPal. Okay, so being honest with yourself. Fat loss is all about consistent, accurate calorie control. That is it. All right, so a few more things. Stubborn body fat. One funny thing. One of the members asked me this morning, is age a factor in how much body fat you hold? And up until just recently, I would have said yes, but I looked at, there's a Dr. Spencer Nadolsky, I think that's his name. Nadolsky is definitely his second name. Anyway, he's a fat loss expert, has a lot of clients that are obese, overweight. He's also a strength training guy, and he's in incredible shape himself, and he's this obesity doctor, and he posts this stuff all the time on his social media, and he posted a study that showed that metabolic decline was not the reason why people below 60 are gaining body fat. Okay, so age is not an excuse. So some more tips on the stubborn body fat. NEAT is a big one. NEAT is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's the energy that you burn in the day that's not exercise. Okay, so you come to Boxica, you do a class, that's exercise burning of calories, right? You're specifically coming somewhere to train, and you burn calories while you're training. It's not just about burning calories when you exercise, by the way. We're talking about fat loss, and so we're keeping it in the realm of that. But when you're outside of the gym and you finish in the gym, you walk to your car, right? You're walking, you're burning energy. You sit in your car, you're driving, you're burning energy. Not a lot, but you're driving, you're moving. You get home, you walk in the house, you have your breakfast, you drive to work, you take the stairs to the office, you have meetings in this office, that office, then you have a meeting downtown, you have to drive downtown, walk around a bit, come back in your car, then you're going to go for lunch, you're going to walk to the restaurant. You get my point, right? A huge, they've done studies on people that move more, and the people that fidget more, funnily enough, right? So I'm sitting on this table now, and I've just started bouncing my leg. You know when you bounce your leg, or you move your hand, or if you're very articulate when you talk, you move your hands a lot. You stand, this guy was this big, and you move your hands, right? So if you're the type of person that moves a lot and you're quite fidgety, you burn, get this, you burn up to 2,500 calories more per day. Up to, right? So that would be an extreme example, probably. Someone that's like, can't keep still. But you get the point, right? So here's the tip on this aspect. Don't underestimate the small movements you do in the day. Okay, especially if you're at an office job and you tend to sit in that chair for hours on end. Okay, do not underestimate the power of movement that's not planned exercise, right? I know it's Dubai and it's hot, but small things that will help you. There's something that's just popped to my mind. It wasn't planned to say this. I did a blog post years ago, and it was on. It was imagining that you lived on the 8th floor of a building, and you walked the stairs up and down twice per day. Right. So instead of taking the lift, the elevator, you walk the stairs. So let's say you wake up in the morning. You go down to your car to drive to work. You walk down the steps. You come back after work. You walk up the steps again. Then, you go out to the gym. So you walk back down the stairs. You get in your car, drive to the gym, come back, walk back up the stairs. Twice per day, up and down the 8. So it's basically 12 flights a day. It worked out over a year that you walked up Mount Everest twice, up and down twice. Right? Imagine in a year the amount of steps that is compared to taking the elevator. So it builds up. It's a huge thing. That's why we always tell people 10 to 15,000 steps a day to maintain a leaner body, right? Especially this day and age where, especially living in Dubai, actually. Living in Dubai, you're ordering your food from Deliveroo, you go into the office, you're sitting in the office, we're not walking around anywhere, we don't walk to work or cycle to work or anything like that. We drive everywhere, 10 to 15,000 steps a day. That's 10,000 would be the minimum in my, there's a lot more health benefits to walking than just fat loss, but 10 to 15,000 steps a day. And think about the small, fidgety, I'm just going to throw ones and twos for the rest of this podcast to burn some more calories kind of thing. So think about that. NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and steps. And the next one for stubborn body fat is sleep and stress. Okay, stress plays a massive role in this, and I have seen people eat I've seen clients not get the most out of their diet in terms of fat loss due to stress. Because of the hormones and everything that's going on, you're not sleeping properly. If you are super stressed out or you're not sleeping properly, fat loss should be the last thing on your mind. Okay, you deal with the stubborn body fat later. Work on your sleep, work on your stress, and that will help you drastically. Sleep particularly. People that sleep enough optimally eat less. Okay, when you don't sleep enough, first of all, you're tired, so you get hungry, and that's due to your body recognizing the more hours awake and moving, and therefore urging you to eat more food. But the urge to eat the food is usually much greater and stronger than the actual calories you need for the extra 1 or 2 hours that you've been awake, right? So that's key, absolutely key. Sleep. Don't even bother. Don't. I would say don't start on this journey if you're really lacking in your sleep. Get that correct first, and then we can move on to the body fat later. And all aspects of your life will get better if you sleep more. Trust me. Hydration's another one. Again, people, I always come back to these basics. A lot of the things that I'm saying now, I've said in previous podcasts, and I've said to people in the gym many times. Hydration, staying optimally hydrated, is going to help you in your fat loss journey massively. If you're not drinking enough water, you can first is mistaken for hunger a lot of the time. You can end up eating something, and it's just more calories in the body that you don't really need. Okay, make sure you're drinking enough water. And yeah, this is a great one. Managing daily calorie timing. Okay. This ties into the one I said earlier about hunger, only eating when you're actually hungry. Don't wake up and have breakfast just because it's breakfast and everyone's eating breakfast and I need to eat breakfast. No, listen to your body. Like, are you actually hungry right now? Maybe you are. Eat something. And managing calories. So typically I've found that people overeat or have the unnecessary calories in the evening. It's in the night, you're feeling a bit tired, you've had a long day, there's something nice in the cupboards that you've left in there, so you want to go for that. Manage your calories throughout the day so you have more calories in the evening to eat more in the evening, if that's what you want to do. It's a great tip, managing the timings of your calories based on your schedule and where you're at. I like to eat more food in the evening as well. I evenly eat throughout the day, but I do save a couple of hundred calories for the evening, and it allows me. I know I've got, for example, 200 calories a day I don't eat, and I'll get home, have a shower, kind of like chilling at home, finishing up any bits for the day, and I know that I've got 200 calories, right? I could have a Snickers bar, I could have some ice cream, I can have something healthy if I want. It doesn't have to be unhealthy. I can have some fruit, but it's just the option. It's there. I planned for it. You might even get 200 calories. You might say, what, today I don't really need it. I didn't move that much. It's been a low activity day. I'm just not going to eat that 200 calories. Okay, and then you're saving yourself a little bit as well. So managing your calories, and last but not least on the stubborn body fat tips is eat healthy foods. If you eat a higher portion of unhealthy foods, most of your food is going to be higher in calories. That's the fact. Healthy food has less calories. Fruits, vegetables, proteins, healthy fats, nuts, seeds, avocados, chicken breast, or all parts of the chicken, fish, tofu, beans, all the vegetables that you can think of, any and all vegetables, lots of fruits, these kind of things, right? Foods that have grown from earth are natural. They have less calories in them than unhealthy foods, right? Think about a donut. A small, light, fluffy, round, amazingly tasting thing that has a lot of calories in it. For the same calories as a donut, you could probably eat 4 apples, right? Just as a little example. Unhealthy foods have higher calories, and a lot of it's like empty calories. It's not nutritious food that's going to help fuel your body. A lot of what I speak about with fat loss is calories in versus calories out, but healthy foods are super, super, super important if you want to maintain a lean, healthy body. Okay, I've said this many times before. If you want to look lean and you want to be healthy, right? If you want to be fit and athletic, then live a healthy, fit and athletic life. Like, live the lifestyle, and you will automatically look like you do that. Do you get what I mean? So eating healthy foods is key. I always say 10% of your diet can be junk, and the other 90% should be healthy. And be honest with yourself with this as well. That's just a guide. It doesn't have to be like that all the time, but look at the types of foods you're eating. Before you eat, look, is it healthy? Did it grow from earth? Is it natural? If the answer is yes most of the time, that's great. Don't have to eat healthy foods all the time, but the majority of your diet should be low calorie, high volume, high nutrient dense foods. All right, guys, stubborn body fat. That's about it. That's all I've got for you. Realize that the body fat that you've got is probably not that stubborn, because chances are you're not that lean. You have probably got an unrealistic view of where you want to be with your body. So it's important to be realistic with where you're at and where you can go and where it's healthy to be. Women do carry more body fat naturally than men. That's the way it is. And I hope you got a lot out of this podcast. We'll see you next time. Thanks.